Criteria for siting a sanitary landfill. The site selected must be consistent with the overall land use plan of the LGU. The site must be accessible from major roadways. The site should have an adequate quantity of earth cover material that is easily handled and compacted. The site must be chosen with regard for the sensitivities of the community's residents. The site must be located in an area where the landfill's operation will not detrimentally affect environmentally sensitive resources such as aquifer, groundwater reservoir, or watershed area. The site should be large enough to accommodate the community's waste for a period of 5 years. The site chosen should facilitate developing a landfill that will satisfy budgetary constraints. Operating plans must include provisions for coordinating with recycling and resource recovery projects, and designation of a separate containment area for household hazardous waste. Criteria for establishment of sanitary landfill. Liners, a system of clay layers to reduce or prevent contaminant flow to groundwater. Leachate collection and treatment system. Installation of pipes at the low areas of the liner to collect leachate for storage and eventual treatment and discharge. Gas control and recovery system. Perforated piping placed in the landfill to collect gas for treatment or productive use as an energy source. Groundwater monitoring well system, placed at an appropriate location and depth for taking water samples that are representative of groundwater quality. Cover, consisting of soil and geosynthetic materials to protect the waste from long-term contact with the environment. Closure procedure, minimizes the infiltration of precipitation into the waste. Post-closure care procedure. During this period, the landfill owner shall be responsible for providing for the general upkeep of the landfill. Penal provisions. Prohibited acts. Littering of waste matters in public places. Collecting or transporting equipment in violation of sanitation operation. Burning of solid waste. Causing or permitting the collection of non-segregated or unsorted waste. Squatting in open dumps and landfills. Burying of biodegradable or non-biodegradable materials in flood-prone areas. Unauthorized removal of recyclable materials. Mixing of source-separated recyclable materials with other solid waste. Establishment or operation of open dumps or closure of said dumps in violation of Section 37. Distribution or use of non-environmentally acceptable packaging materials. Fines and penalties. Any person who violates Section 48, Paragraph 1 shall be punished with a fine of not less than 300 pesos but not more than 1,000 pesos or render community service. Any person who violates Section 48, Paragraphs 2 and 3 shall be punished with a fine of not less than 300 pesos but not more than 1,000 pesos or imprisonment. Any person who violates Section 48, Paragraphs 4, 5, 6, and 7 shall be punished with a fine of not less than 1,000 pesos but not more than 3,000 pesos or imprisonment. Any person who violates Section 48, Paragraphs 8, 9, 10, and 11 shall pay a fine of 500,000 pesos plus an amount not less than 5% but not more than 10% of his net annual income. Any person who violates Section 48, Paragraphs 12 and 13 shall be punished with a fine of not less than 10,000 pesos but not more than 200,000 pesos or imprisonment. Any person who violates Section 48, Paragraphs 14, 15, and 16 shall be punished with a fine of not less than 100,000 pesos but not more than 1 million pesos or imprisonment. Administrative sanctions. Local government officials and officials of government agencies who fail to comply with and enforce rules and regulations promulgated relative to this Act shall be charged administratively in accordance with RA number 7160 and other existing laws. A writ of kalikasan under the RPEC is a separate and distinct action from RA number 9003 and RA number 8749. RA number 9003 Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000 and RA number 8749 Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999. A writ of kalikasan is an extraordinary remedy covering environmental damage of such magnitude that will prejudice the life, health, or property of inhabitants in two or more cities or provinces. Suits and strategic legal action against public participation and enforcement of the Act, where a suit is brought against a person who filed an action as provided in Section 52 of this Act, or against any person, institution, or government agency that implements this Act, it shall be the duty of the investigating prosecutor or the court to immediately make a determination not exceeding 30 days whether said legal action has been filed. This provision shall also apply and benefit public officers who are sued for acts committed in their official capacity, there being no grave abuse of authority and done in the course of enforcing the Act. Joint Congressional Oversight Committee. A Joint Congressional Oversight Committee has been established to monitor the implementation of the Act and to oversee the functions of the Commission. The committee shall be composed of 5 senators and 5 representatives to be appointed by the Senate President and the Speaker of the House of Representatives.